8 years ago, François Legault had an ambitious pitch to court English-speaking Quebecers.
There's no threat of referendum anymore, so there's no reason to stick with the Liberal Party that has taken you for granted for decades. Free yourself. Join the team for change.
And after an electoral win with a strong majority came commitments to the community.
We are proud to protect your historical rights, and we will keep on doing just that.
These are areas where he's been phenomenal, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that. But of course, some people will disagree.
It seems to me that, again, Mr. Legault has demonstrated a degree of antipathy and hostility to English-speaking Quebecers and to our community that certainly was not present with people like René Lévesque and Lucien Bouchard.
With the CEQ now moving on from the Legault era, what can we make of his relationship with English speakers? Let's go back to some of the government's key decisions, starting with Bill 40.
Le projet de loi 40 devrait être retiré.
During the consultations on the legislation to transform school boards into school service centers, many education officials wanted Bill 40 scrapped, or for anglophone school boards to be exempt. The government didn't budge, but these school boards are still standing with the protection of successive court rulings.
We were confident of a victory in the courts, but to have to take this issue right to the Supreme Court is disappointing.
What we were trying to do there was to give them the same benefits that we were imposing on the Francophone minority. And so I think it's just a, forgive the pun, but a lost in translation issue more than an attack issue, which is how some people framed that whole discussion.
Then Bill 96, Quebec's law to protect the French language, introduced certain linguistic requirements in French for people to receive government services.
When you're asking people if they're entitled to services, even if it's self-identification, that's a restriction, in my view, to English language services that we haven't seen before.
Koopman is also a former Quebec Liberal politician, and there is another key decision that made him lose faith in the Legault government: the cancellation of the Dawson College expansion project.
Right now, there's a limited capacity to build new infrastructures. We have many projects in other colleges. If we have to choose priority, it's better to expand French colleges before adding capacity to Dawson.
There's a fairly widespread feeling, I believe, amongst many English-speaking Quebecers that that we're being treated as second-class citizens, that we're not entitled to the same services, the same consideration.
But not everyone shares that feeling.
The English language schools are treated as well as the French language schools. Okay, that I think is important.
We met with Burke next to the construction site of a future Anglophone school that will welcome 1,400 students. He says it's a sign of the Legault government's commitment to the English-speaking community.
I don't agree with him on Bill 40. I fought really in a forceful fashion, but it nevertheless, they are giving us a wonderful high school.
Hi, comment ça va?
Skeet highlights the fact that the CEQ government maintained the Secretariat for Relations with English-speaking Quebecers, even increasing its budget. He also says they helped fight relatively higher unemployment rates and boost access to healthcare services, especially for seniors.
The English community, English-speaking Quebecers, some of them like what we've done. Some of them don't like what we've done, and that's fine in a democracy.
For Quebec governments, it will always be a challenging balance between defending the French majority and protecting the English-speaking minority. But the political landscape has changed since 2018. With the PQ's surge, there's a possibility of a third referendum, and with the Quebec Liberal Party creeping up in the polls, the balancing act for the new CEQ leader and premier may be a bit trickier than what Legault has faced.